If you are playing Town Hall 13 and struggling to get 3 stars, look no further because I have the top 5 attack strategies right now. Quickly before I get into our first attack, I must mention that not every single base you encounter is going to be the same. They're all going to look different, and there isn't just one army for every single base. Also, we have a variety of different attack strategies today, and if you have never used them before, I highly recommend that you practice them before going into a serious war attack. So for our first attack, we wanted to keep it simple with a little bit of strategy requiring the use of invisibility spells. We have the Super Archer blimp with the Hydra, Dragons, and Dragon Riders. Now, one of the first things that I'm doing when I look at these bases is I'm going to kind of envision breaking it into 4 different sections or quadrants. And I'm looking for the Town Hall, and I want to identify a place where I can drop a blimp, clone the Super Archers, and clear out a large section. So I'm really liking this section right here on the right side that has an air defense, expo, clan castle, and a town hall right next to it. Now what we want to do is we're going to drop our lava hound to block for our battle blimp. So we're going to drop that on the right side in line with the air defense and town hall, and I want to place that blimp on top of the expo's placement. So we're going to place an invisibility spell first, manually place the blimp, give it just a moment because there are wall breakers that are going to open up a wall for those Super Archers. Then we're going to follow that up with a rage, both of the clone spells, and an invisibility. Count out 4 seconds on the invisibility, and we're going to keep placing invisibilities every 4 seconds to take out as many buildings as possible. So they're able to clear the town hall, the expo, the inferno tower, the clan castle, and I was trying to get some damage on the air sweepers just in case, but we did run out of invisibility spells. We're going to drop a baby dragon on the right side, and we're basically trying to clear a few buildings over there, and then we're going to run the king and the queen together on the left side. Which reminds me, the barbarian king has the giant gauntlet as well as the rage vial. The queen has the giant arrow and the healer puppet, which kind of self-sustains her to keep picking off buildings and helping our dragons out. The warden will have the eternal tome and the rage gem, but you can also use the healing tome. It doesn't really matter. We just add a little bit more power with that rage gem, and then obviously the royal champion will always have the seeking shield and the royal gem because we are playing Town Hall 13. So we're going to watch this king and queen work their way around the outside of the base, trying to be a little bit patient, taking out some buildings with that baby dragon, and we're going to also plan to set up the funnel for our dragons, dragon riders, and balloons on the far left side. So we got the dragon working on a building, and it's going to work its way into an army camp. Now the king's ability is used, the queen's going to follow him, and we're going to use that queen's giant arrow to do damage to buildings in the center and try to eliminate the air sweepers just in case our dragons get in front of them, because that does tend to happen when we don't want it to. And then we're going to work our dragons, balloons, warden on air mode, and the dragon riders into the base. So here comes our dragons, balloons, dragon riders, warden, and we're also going to release our royal champion on the far right side since we missed out on an archer tower and a cannon, and basically kind of flex with our royal champion. Now we use the warden's ability once they get close to that defensive archer queen because she will pick off the dragon rider because they are a defensive seeking troop, and we wanted to make sure that the dragons eliminated her and allowed them to continue to push forward and work. Royal champion coming up from the flank, and our dragons and balloons are caught up in a tornado trap, but at this point I don't think it necessarily matters. We have a ton of troops left over. We're going to use that royal champion's ability to take out the remaining defenses, and from here on we're just going to wait for the cleanup. For our next attack, of course, we have to have a strategy that has Electro Dragons. A lot of players out there really like them, and what happened with the hero abilities does help how we use the Electro Dragons. So the biggest change here would be the Barbarian King. We have the Giant Gauntlet as well as the Quake Boots, and the Archer Queen will have the same abilities as the last. So we're going to look at this base and try to identify the 4 different quadrants of the base. Where is the Town Hall located? It's right here on the top. and we want to travel the battle blimp across the village and drop rocket balloons or Yetis on top of that town hall to clear it. So we're going to basically use our king and queen to clear the far right side of the base with a little bit of funneling. So we're going to start out with the baby dragon up top on a builder hut, and we're going to drop the queen on the right side. Now notice her alignment. She's going to be lined up with the dark elixir drill, then the archer tower, the inferno tower, then there's air defense and an air sweeper. I'd like to clear the air sweeper, that way we only have to deal with one of those, but we're going to drop healers on the queen so she continues to walk with the barbarian king. Archer in the corner. We're going to wait for that queen to go into the barracks, then the cannon, and then line up on the archer tower. So sometimes you have to be a little patient with this. Use the ability, then we're going to drop an ice golem and a king, and since the king does have the quake boots, he will open up this section of the base for the queen to help him take down various buildings, including the inferno towers as well as the scatter shot. We're going to drop an Electro Dragon, one solo on the other side to start doing some damage and funneling, and then we're going to drop the Royal Champion to start working a flank in as we release all of our Electro Dragons in a line with all of the balloons and the Warden on air mode, 2 rages and a battle blimp. Now catch the battle blimp before it leaves the Warden's Eternal Tome ring, and that blimp is going to travel across the base. We also froze the air sweeper to give that blimp time, and we're going to freeze the town hall. I think it was supposed to be a rage instead, but I don't think it necessarily matters because the Yetis are going to take down that town hall very easily. The rages and the freezes is really hard to say this is where you place them because you have to watch what's happening in the attack. If you're running into heavyweight defenses like scatter shots or a single target inferno tower, obviously you're going to want to freeze that, and you're going to want to rage up the largest group of Electro Dragons. That way you get the most value out of them. This base actually crumbled very easily, but again, not every single base is the same, so you're going to have to really plan out how you use that queen's ability to assist your Electro Dragons. For our third attack, we're going to include a very popular strategy for many years, one of my favorites, the Queen Charge Hybrid. Now, I understand that not everybody out there knows how to Queen Charge, but it's actually quite simple if you practice with it enough. It's very, very valuable at higher town hall levels. So we're going to break this base into 4 sections, and we're looking for the clan castle, the eagle artillery, the town hall, and when it comes to using miners and hog riders, we want to clear the clan castle troops. That is ideal. If we can get rid of the eagle artillery, even better, because that eliminates all that defensive damage from the miners themselves. So we're going to use our queen on the left side because that whole section has a lot of value. Town hall, eagle artillery, clan castle troops, and then we're going to use a flame flinger on the other side to work on the funneling on the right side. So we got baby dragon. That baby dragon is picking off buildings, but we're also looking for hidden Teslas that might be in this section because we want to protect that flame flinger for as long as possible. Over on the left side, we drop the archer queen first, followed by a balloon to look for traps to protect those healers, and we're going to release a baby dragon to her left to pick off a few buildings and push this queen to the right. We're trying to direct her, that way she doesn't go doing the thing that you don't want her to do. Now she's going to take out wizard tower, work on an archer tower, down into a gold mine, and continue on this path into the center where we want her to go. Flame flinger's continuously working, and we're going to drop a balloon on that mortar on the far right side because we do not want it targeting our flame flinger, and you'll notice that there were hidden Teslas in this zone. All right, so queen, we're going to rage her up because she's taking some damage, and she's going to get a little distracted on a few buildings. Maybe we could have used a baby dragon there. I don't really know. We didn't really have a lot of them, but we will negotiate through this, no problem. The queen's going to take out the cannon and work directly into the center where we wanted her to go, dropping the freeze to stop the power from that expo, rage, poison, and a freeze spell on those super minions. That way it slows them down, does damage while they're in the poison, and gives the queen time to eliminate them. We're going to drop the barbarian king on the right side. There's a bunch of junk buildings over here that we want him to take out. That way our miners do not stay on the outside of the base, but they actually go inside the base where we want them. Queen's going to take out the eagle artillery, and then she's going to work back into the town hall. We can use her ability and eliminate that, no problem. All right, so we have miners, Hog Riders, Grand Warden on ground mode, Rage Gem assigned to him with the Royal Champion. We're going to use our heal spells in a very dense location of defenses, dropping the Headhunters and using the Warden's ability to protect our troops, clear that defensive Royal Champion, and use the heal spells as they go up into the scatter shot. The Queen's still working on the left side, looking really nice. The King has taken out various buildings on the outside, and this frees it up for this tiny little section of defenses left over for our miners and hogs under a heal spell to get them through the Inferno Tower and finish off this base for the 3-star. Heck, we even still had the Royal Champion ability left over. So those are the things that we're looking for when it comes to this attack strategy, but you gotta practice that Queen charge if you want to use it. And for our fourth attack, we're going to include a spam style army. Everybody loves a little bit of spam from time to time. We have Yetis, Witches, and Bat spells. This one's actually really popular right now with a lot of players. And the idea of this strategy is to sweep through with a Yeti smash style attack and clean up backside defenses or flank in with bats to clear those, and basically 3-star. Now, this base has the Town Hall on the outside. If the base has the Town Hall in the center, that's even easier for this attack strategy. So we're looking for 2 zones where we can use a Yeti and 3 Witches to basically funnel, clear some trash buildings. That way all of our Yetis and heroes and log launcher go straight through the center, targeting the Town Hall. So we're going to obviously start on the opposite side. So we're going to place the Yeti and 3 Witches up top, then Yeti on the right side with 3 Witches, and we're going to wait just a few seconds. We need to make sure that they clear out buildings. That way our troops do not go around the outsides. This is super important because it will mess up if you do not wait long enough. We're going to drop the Barbarian King, 1 wall breaker. That way it opens up the compartment for the Yetis to have something to target. And we're going to drop a line of Yetis, a line of Witches, the log launcher, Queen, and Grand Warden on ground mode. Now we do have the Rage Gem assigned to that Warden to kind of boost up the power of our troops as they travel behind that log. The log is going to continue to open up the walls and do damage to buildings ahead of our troops. We're going to use that Warden's ability to protect our troops as they get into that defensive Queen and clan castle troop placement. And we also chose to use the Rage in the center. That way they kind of disperse and go in different directions, taking out different defenses. Now you're going to notice we used the King's ability and we had the Quake boots on him. That way, if the log launcher fails to open up the last wall for your troops, we can use his ability to open that up. And then we also have the Royal Champion flanked. So you'll notice that we have a Town Hall that is activated because of the log launcher. We have a Wizard Tower right here. We have a multi-target that's about to go down. So the only defenses that are left that we have to worry about would be the Wizard Tower right there and both of these Expos. So that's where our free spells and our bats come into play. We're going to place our bats on the right side all in one place, and we're going to let them wave through, freezing the Expos first and helping the Royal Champion stay alive. We're going to freeze that Wizard Tower before it shoots at our bats, and they're going to continue to proceed and take out these defenses with the assistance of the Royal Champion. And then we're going to freeze that Town Hall because there were beams coming off of that, and we don't want our bats roasted. We want to try to keep as many of those as alive because at this point, most of the time the Yetis are probably taken out and destroyed. So from here on, we can just kind of kick back and wait it out for the 3-star. But the biggest thing that you have to pay attention to for this strategy is make sure that you wait for that beginning funnel and clearance of buildings. That way all of your troops go inside like you want them to do. And for our last attack, I feel like we have probably the easiest one to apply, which is the Double Clone Dragon attack. Now, in the center of this base, you're going to see 2 air sweepers. This is not always the case. We are normally going to use 2 lightning spells to eliminate the air sweeper that's facing where we want our dragons and our battle blimp to travel. Now, this is where the hero abilities really come into play. I think with this one, we do have the Queen assigned the giant arrow and the healer puppet, because we want the Queen to stay self-sustaining, but we also want her to eliminate some air defenses and buildings along the path of where those dragons are going to travel. So that's how we're going to start out. We're going to drop the 2 lightning spells first to roast the air sweeper. There we go. Then we're going to drop the queen lined up to try to take out the air defense as well as other buildings on the other side. So we got some damage on some of the buildings in the center there. We're going to drop the king on the other side of the funnel, and we're going to clear these buildings on the outside before releasing our dragons. The healers from the ability from the queen are going to keep this queen alive. Then we're going to go a line of dragons, a line of balloons, the warden on air mode, and his abilities are the Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome. And then we're going to drop a Rage to get the dragons in, and then we're going to release our Battle Blimp. And we have to watch that Battle Blimp and make sure that we use the Warden's ability before it leaves the ring. There we go. And the Blimp is going to continue to travel to the Town Hall. This is where we're going to prepare with the use of our clones, kind of offsetting them with the Rage. The Blimp's going to land on the Town Hall, and all of those rocket balloons are going to basically clone and destroy a bunch of buildings. We have the Royal Champion. It's a flex troop. You can place it where it's needed. In this case, I dropped it with the Archer Queen to take out hidden Teslas to keep her alive, and the King's ability was used super late. So you can see how this attack strategy is just very overpowering on the right types of bases, where the King is basically left alive to take down additional buildings and speed up this attack. So again, this one is phenomenal. I actually do really enjoy using it, but again, if you're not used to using that blimp with the Warden's ability, you need to practice it. And if your favorite Town Hall 13 attack strategy was not listed in this video, let us know what it is down in the comments below, and be sure to check out this video recommended by YouTube.